There is a place on Earth where human feet have never fully reached. A place where millions of creatures roam freely, most of which science has yet to name. It is the largest rainforest on the planet. Nearly 20% of all the oxygen we breathe is produced here. And buried within its depths lie unknown civilizations, lost cities, poisonous rivers, trees that glow in the night, whispers that sound like ghosts, and creatures whose very existence makes your skin crawl. Today we take you deep into the darkness of the Amazon rainforest, where every single step is wrapped in mystery. Many people think the Amazon is simply a vast jungle in Brazil. That is true, but only half the story. The Amazon rainforest stretches across 9 countries: Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. What is even more astonishing is that twice the area shown on most maps has never been accurately documented. Satellite images reveal regions so deep that no drone, helicopter, or expedition team has dared to enter. A dense canopy of leaves and vines forms an endless green ceiling, and beneath it lies layer after layer of life, each one more unknown than the last. Scientists call this invisible territory the Dark Amazon, a place where nature still reigns undisturbed and the light of human civilization has never reached. Scientists do not call the Amazon the lung of the earth. They call it a living planet, because its trees, rivers, insects, animals, bacteria, soil, and air are so deeply connected to one another that it functions like a separate world entirely. It contains roughly 390 billion trees, 16,000 different tree species, 2.5 million species of insects, and another 2.5 million species of other creatures. Thousands more have never been discovered. Scientists estimate that 80% of the Amazon species have never been named by human beings. Think about that. 80% of one jungle is still a mystery. The creatures that live here are unlike anything else on Earth. The anaconda, the largest snake in the world, lives here. Up to 30 feet long, weighing over 400 pounds. Deep in the jungle, researchers have found impressions in the ground suggesting snakes longer than 50 feet may still be out there. Then there is the Goliath bird-eater tarantula. Nearly 12 inches across, it is the largest spider on the planet. It hunts mice. At night, you can hear its legs moving across the leaves as if a small animal is walking toward you in the dark. There is also the kangaroo fish, one of the most terrifying creatures in the Amazon. It is so slim, it can enter narrow passages of the human body and cannot be removed. The fear of this fish is so widespread that locals approach rivers with extreme caution. Deep in the Amazon's rivers, divers have recorded sounds that match no known creature on Earth. Some say it is a massive unknown squid. Others say an unseen species of shark. Others believe it is something science has never encountered. Now for one of the most quietly astonishing facts about this jungle. Scientists have discovered that Amazon trees talk to one another, not with sound but through underground fungal networks that carry chemical signals. One tree tells another that rain is coming, that fire is approaching, that insects are attacking, or that it needs help. This communication system is called the Wood Wide Web. And the Amazon has the most powerful version of it on the planet. This is why scientists say the Amazon is not just a forest. It is a living, aware ecosystem. The Amazon has 2 types of rivers. The first is the Whitewater River, pale yellow in color from soil erosion, rich in fish and nutrients. The second is the Blackwater River, dark as coffee, low in fish, low in insects. But here is the mystery. The Blackwater can actually kill bacteria. It contains compounds that act as a natural disinfectant, and scientists are still trying to fully understand how. In 2005, drone surveys revealed enormous circular earthen structures beneath the jungle floor. Scientists immediately recognized them as human-made and very old. Then in 2020, laser scanning technology pierced through the canopy and revealed something extraordinary. Massive ancient roads, wall-like structures, water management systems, mysterious geometric markings, and pyramid-shaped mounds 20 to 30 feet tall. Scientists now say the Amazon was once home to tens of millions of people, and their civilization was highly advanced. Where they went and why they vanished remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries on Earth. One of the Amazon's most striking secrets is that some of its tribes have never had contact with the outside world, and they do not want any. No outsider has ever seen their faces. When approached, they fire arrows. They believe that people from outside bring death with them. According to the United Nations, between 100 and 120 tribes in the Amazon are completely isolated from the rest of civilization. They live by their own rules, speak their own languages. During the dry season, temperatures in the Amazon can climb to over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. At those extremes, the natural oils inside trees sometimes reach a boiling point and explode, igniting fires that burn for days, weeks, or even months. The sky turns gray with smoke. Nothing like it occurs anywhere else in the world. In 2011, scientists discovered that a massive underground river flows beneath the Amazon, as wide as the river above it, but moving 100 times more slowly, 4,000 meters below the surface. In the deepest parts of the Amazon, certain trees glow at night. Scientists believe it may be dense algae or an unknown chemical reaction. But the people who have lived here for generations say they are the spirits of the jungle. Across many regions of the Amazon, there is a story told in hushed voices. Deep in the jungle at night, a tall, dark, human-like figure appears. The locals call it the Mapinguari. 8 to 9 feet tall, covered in black fur, eyes like burning embers, and a smell so powerful it stops you where you stand. Many witnesses claim it walks upright like a person but moves at terrifying speed. Scientists suggest it may be an undiscovered primate. But the indigenous peoples say it is the guardian of the forest, a protector of the places human beings should never enter. The Amazon is home to fish that breathe air, not through gills but through a small organ similar to a lung. These air-breathing fish survive when oxygen levels in the water drop, when floods cover the forest floor, and when rivers dry up completely, burrowing into mud to wait. Now consider this. If the Amazon were completely destroyed, global temperatures would rise by several degrees. Rainfall would decrease. Droughts would spread. Fertile land would turn to desert. Ocean currents would shift, and storms and floods would become catastrophically worse. In short, if the Amazon collapses, the balance of the entire planet collapses with it. This is not just a jungle, it is the heartbeat of the Earth. The Amazon is 55 million years old, older than the dinosaurs. It has survived multiple ice ages, the impact of asteroids, and extreme climate shifts. That is why it is so resilient. Its age alone proves it is a living library of Earth's biological history. Many scientists believe the Amazon should be declared the eighth wonder of the world. Its size, its biodiversity, its mysteries, its buried civilizations, and its power to sustain life on Earth make it truly unlike anything else. The Amazon is not just a jungle. It is Earth's last fairy tale, a living land that human hands have never fully touched. At once mysterious, terrifying, and breathtaking. Much of what keeps this planet alive rests on the Amazon's shoulders. Lose it, and we lose the future. Protecting the Amazon means protecting ourselves. Where sunlight disappears beneath a thick ceiling of leaves, 5 million square kilometers of green ocean stretch out in every direction. This is the Amazon rainforest, not merely a gift from nature, but a buried chapter of history waiting to be read. For centuries, the assumption was that the Amazon was a wild, uninhabited kingdom. But recent discoveries tell a completely different story. Scientists have found evidence that ancient people used the rivers as roads, built structures from living wood, and practiced agriculture far more advanced than anyone imagined. The question is, where did these people go? Does a lost empire still sleep beneath the green? The Amazon rarely appeared in written history because European explorers dismissed it as uncivilized jungle. Around 1540, Spanish explorer Francisco de Orellana traveled the length of the Amazon River and wrote in his journal about villages stretching along both banks, crop fields, and stone structures. Back in Europe, everyone laughed. A civilization in a dense jungle was considered impossible. 500 years later, scientists proved the impossible true. In the 1970s, archaeologists discovered enormous circular and square earthworks buried in the soil. These turned out to be the foundations of ancient city centers, roads, and ceremonial sites constructed between 1200 BC and the 14th century. That means while the Roman Empire was falling, the Amazon already had advanced societies of its own. These people have been called the lost tribes of the Amazon. They lived alongside nature, not against it. Their greatest achievement was terra preta, a rich black soil created from charcoal, animal bones, and organic matter that remains fertile for thousands of years. Modern science still cannot fully explain how they made it. In the early 21st century, even as satellites mapped every corner of the globe, the Amazon remained unsolved. Then came a revolutionary technology called LiDAR, which uses laser pulses to map terrain hidden beneath tree cover. When scientists scanned the Amazon with it, they were stunned. Beneath the canopy lay miles of ancient roads, urban layouts, and gathering plazas. Research suggested that between 1 and 2 million people once lived here, using rivers as highways and building small city centers every 20 to 30 kilometers, all connected like a living network. A 2018 study revealed the traces of more than 80 ancient cities in the southern Amazon alone. The geometric shapes carved into the earth beneath the Amazon's trees were so precise and so large that when they were first discovered, no one believed they were made by human hands. Scientists call them geoglyphs. Some measure more than a kilometer across. They were not just art, they were city centers, ceremonial grounds, and administrative districts built between 1200 and 1500 AD, while Europe was still in the Middle Ages. When European colonizers arrived, they brought disease, enslavement, and violence. Peoples who had lived in balance with nature for thousands of years were wiped out by smallpox, influenza, and warfare. Golden green cities fell silent. Vines consumed their walls. Rivers swallowed their roads. An entire civilization erased. Today, some tribes deep in the Amazon have still never had contact with the outside world. Called uncontacted peoples, they carry thousands of years of ancient knowledge without any of it ever being written down. They know which plants heal and which kill. Among more than 6,000 plant species, they use nearly 3,000 in medicine, many of which modern science has not yet studied. Their practice of ayahuasca, a plant-based ceremonial drink, contains chemical compounds that researchers now say promote creativity and psychological healing. These people believe the forest is their teacher, the river is their mother, and animals are companions of the soul. They do not cut trees without reason. They believe every tree has a spirit, and that spirit must be asked permission. In 2022, researchers from Cambridge University and a National Space Research Institute discovered the remains of roughly 26 previously unknown cities in the southern Amazon. Their roads, walls, and water systems were architecturally complex, proving the builders were skilled engineers. Scientists also found that patterns in the tree canopy reveal areas where people deliberately planted certain species for food and medicine. These discoveries confirm what the Amazon has always been: Not a wild place untouched by human hands, but a co-creation of humans and nature. One of the oldest and most sustainable civilizations Earth has ever seen. When that civilization disappeared, nature quietly began its work of reclamation. Moss and roots covered the ruins, roads became river valleys, temples gave way to trees. It was as if the jungle was holding vigil over what it had lost. Scientists say this forest is not entirely natural. Human beings built much of it, and when those humans were gone, nature took it back and made it its own. The Amazon teaches us that even in destruction, rebirth is possible. People vanish, but the forest is born again, and inside that rebirth lies a lesson for our own future. The Amazon rainforest is not just a forest, it is the heartbeat of this planet. Every tree, every river carries the memory of a civilization long gone. And today, that forest is in danger again. Deforestation, fire, and the greed of mining are slowly erasing this living history. Thousands of years ago, a civilization thrived by respecting nature. If we forget that lesson, we will pay the price. The Amazon is telling us clearly, destroy it and it will find its way to answer.